The Commune of the Working People of Estonia was an unrecognized government claiming the Bolshevik-occupied parts of Republic of Estonia as its territories during the Estonian War of Independence and the Russian Civil War. The primary purpose of this entity, temporary by its very design, was to give the impression of an Estonian civil war in order to mask Soviet-Russian aggression, establishment and fall. The Commune was established in Narva on the 29th of November 1918, a day after its conquest by the Red Army. The Soviet authorities attempted to portray the offensive as a civil war, but there was a lack of Estonian communists in the ranks of the occupation army, and the so-called Estonian rifle regiments were in fact composed of Russians and other nationalities. It was chaired by Jan Anvelt for the duration of its existence. Within areas of the control, the Commune closed churches, nationalized industry and the banks, and outlawed representatives of the provisional government. The Russian offensive was initially successful and eventually reached as far as 34 kilometers from Tallinn. However, a counter-offensive began on the 7th of January 1919 by the Estonian People's Force under Commander-in-Chief Johann Laidoner eventually drove the Red Army out of Estonia, with international military aid primarily from the British Empire. The Commune was thus rendered defunct, claiming a government in exile in Pskov, then Luga, and finally, from the 17th of May 1919, in Stara Rossa. International recognition. The Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic formally recognized the ETK on the 7th of December 1918 and remained the only government to do so. At the time, Soviet Russia was itself not internationally recognized. One of the first international treaties recognizing Russia's Soviet government as legitimate was the Treaty of Tartu, concluding the Estonian War of Independence in 1920. Massacres. The regime instituted a dictatorial reign of terror. The terror was staged in two waves, the first from October 1917 to February 1918, and a second more brutal wave from November 1918 to January 1919. A considerable number of people were arrested in Tartu in December 1919, and a number of German estate owners were shot on the frozen river on January 9, 1919. Just before Tartu was liberated, the Communists staged a bloodbath in the basement of a town bank. Among the victims were Bishop Platon, the priest Sergei Florensky, and the pastor Troitan. Over 500 people lost their lives. Members of the Commune: Jan Anvelt, Chairman and Military; Victor Kingissepp, Interior; Hans Pugelman, Economic Affairs; Artur Valner, Culture and Public Education; Johannes Mägi, Foreign Affairs and State Control; Rudolf Vachman, Social Insurance; Johannes Kaspit, Secretary. Soviet authorities executed most of the members during the Great Purge.